Conversations with Bhagwan Sri Ramana Maharishi. Devotee asked, what is the difference and effect of the three methods, enquiry, bhakti and control of breath? Maharishi said, Kumbhaka is an aid to control the mind, suppression or annihilation of thoughts. One may practice pranayama, rechka, purka, kumbhaka, or practice only kumbhaka. Still another ajnani on controlling the mind, control of the prana and kumbhaka automatically results. Watching the inhalation and expiration is also pranayama. These methods are threefold apparently. They are in fact only one because they lead to the same goal. They are, however, adopted differently according to the stage of the aspirant and his antecedent vasanas, latent tendencies, conditioning or sanskaras, predispositions to fashion or to do together. Breath control is meant for one who cannot directly control his thoughts. It serves as a brake, serves a car, but one should not stop with it but proceed to concentration and contemplation. The postures help breath control, which helps contemplation, hence Hatha Yoga, which is also a cleansing process. Devotee asked, I hear the psychic sound of nada, divine sound, bell echoes. Maharishi said, if you look upon it objectively, you are likely to use yourself in it. One sound after another would come and then they would be blank. But remember to look who it is that hears this sound. If you hold your inner self firmly, it will be immaterial whether you hear them or not. Keep the subject in view. Nad Yoga is certainly one of the methods to concentration, but after you have obtained the concentration, fix it in the self. But if the subject is lost sight of, then you go to lay or blankness. To one who fixed his attention or sight between eyebrows but felt no progress, the Maharishi said that the sight is fixed but the seer was not kept in view. If the seer is remembered always, then it will be all right. Devotee asked, what is the difference between meditation and self-enquiry? Maharishi said, meditation can only occur if the ego is maintained. There is the ego and the object meditated upon. This method is indirect. On the contrary, by seeking the ego source, the ego disappears. What is left over is self. This method is the direct one. One of the obstacles of meditation to overcome is lay, temporary stillness, a lull. Hence, the teacher who composed the Bhagavad Gita said, practice moderation in sleep. This means 4 to 5 hours sleep. Fakirs who tried to cut out sleep altogether went to ascetic extremes, which are unnecessary. Excessive sleep may be caused by overeating or overexertion, so moderate these things too. Deep sleep is not possible in daytime, as the sun's rays have a peculiar effect preventing it. Hence, if you doze in daytime, it is very easy to turn that into meditation, as it is close to that condition. As regards sleep, the moment you wake up, be alert and begin to think of God, self. Keep alert throughout the day. Practice the presence of God. The second obstacle is the mind turning to external objects. When that is overcome, then the third obstacle is the meditator forgets that he is there to practice meditation, then the fourth obstacle arises, the mind working internally. If it is difficult to control the mind, there is control by breath, which comes from practice alone. Otherwise, by association with the wise, the mind comes under control spontaneously. Such is the greatness of satsanga, association with the wise. It must clearly be understood that for meditation it is not prohibited to practice without postures, fixed times, or other accessories. Devotee asked, any posture for Europeans? Maharishi said, it is according to the mental equipment of the individual, no fixed rules. Devotee asked, what about those not accustomed to vegetarian diet? Maharishi said, habit is only adjustment to the environments. It is the mind that matters. The fact is that the mind has been trained to think certain foods are tasty. Nourishment may be obtained from vegetarian food no less than from flesh. But the realized man's mind is not influenced by the food he takes, but do it gradually. That is, getting accustomed to vegetarianism. Devotee asked, but if it is matter of non-killing, then even plants have life. Maharishi said, so too have the tiles upon which you are seated. Then devotee asked, why do you take milk and not eggs? Maharishi said, domesticated cows yield more milk than their calves require, and they find it a pleasure to be relieved. Eggs contain potential lives. Devotee asked, I have practiced dhyana on Aham Brahmasmi. In a few moments, a blank prevails, my eyes gets heated and I get a fright of death. I want your guidance. Maharishi said, who sees the blank? The consciousness overlooking the blank is the self. The fright of death is only after the thought arises. Whose death do you fear? For whom is that fear? There is the identification of the self with the body. So long as there is this, there will be fear. The spiritual heart is different from the physical heart. Beating is the phenomena only of the latter. The former is the seat of experience, just as a dynamo supplies the motive power to whole systems of lights, fans, etc. So the original Shakti supplies energy to the beating of the heart, respiration, etc. Hari Om Tat Sat.